What is going on, everybody? Luke here. In today's video, we're going to talk about food and product safety issues. Now you can see here it says 12, and this is probably something that a lot of other people that sell a lot of grocery products have found in the last couple of weeks, since the beginning of the month maybe. And it is becoming a bit more of an issue, and I will start actually acting on these. Usually I do not act on any policy violations. I have tried in the past, and even with every single piece of evidence that I can possibly muster and explanation and everything, it doesn't work because, well, it doesn't work as Amazon. And so that's usually why I leave it. And obviously I have heard stories like if you keep appealing and they keep getting declined, that can also be a negative impact. Now, who knows if that's true, but yeah, it's just something that is now coming up. I used to have a pretty much clean slate here. I think 7 was the worst. I had maybe a couple of these. Some of the sort of less like important ones where they just delete the listing. I've had some suspected ones before. But yeah, obviously this kind of one here is, and this one is obviously the worst. You don't really want to be getting in any of these at all. But again, like, you know, who knows how serious this is or not. For me, it's not as serious. It's basically just indicating that something is missing on the listing and they've gone and deleted that listing, even if you haven't sold that product for a long time. So the one thing I'd say is, and something I'm doing, is I am deleting from my catalog all products that I have not restocked in the last sort of month or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever time frame you think is more important depending on your account health. And all I'm doing is just taking off the listings and I am putting them onto a spreadsheet to come back and look at later if I want to. Yeah. So, and it's pretty straightforward. And this is mostly because, you know, it's to do with there not being some sort of information on the product page designated relating to something like, you know, the full ingredients or whatever. But, you know, I'm happy to show you what's going on in there. But if you look at a lot of these, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing even weird about them. Like, you know, some literally cream smoked fish roast bread. I mean, I'm not sure how, you know, I understand that maybe there wasn't a breakdown of ingredients and maybe that is what it's required. But, you know, it's not like these are got hidden traces of peanuts in it. I know there's a lot of other allergens that it potentially could have, some of these. You know, some of these could have traces of nuts, for example. Maybe that's the cause, even though pretty much traces of nuts occurs in nearly every single product. I'm allergic to peanuts, and most things say may contain traces of peanuts or nuts, and it's fine. Like, it's never an issue. And so, yeah, I just think it could be to do with something like that. But then there are some, you know, a lot of it's to do with chocolate, and that could be related to something to do with peanuts potentially. If it doesn't have a picture, for example, of the full ingredients, or it hasn't got it listed in the description or the details, and this is all created by a bot as well. People aren't going in checking these listings and going, oh look, it's not got, you know, 3% that and that. It's sort of like a general blanket like computer bot just going, you know, it hasn't got XYZ on the listing and it's just deleting them. You know, cheesecake mix, I mean, yeah, again, I guess we don't really know what's in these, but, you know, there's some things that some kind of like, oh, it's a bit weird. I get the chocolates, for example, that's fair enough. But obviously this is gonna, you know, you don't want to get more and more and more of these, because I used to get like one, you can see here, I used to get like, you know, 2, but then I started to get like here 5, and I got another 5 in like a week. So it's like, you know, how many could you get in a couple of months potentially if you sell any grocery products at all? And so it's interesting to see. So what I'm doing, you actually need to send like some pictures and stuff like that. You know, for example, if you haven't got that listing anymore and you can't get hold of it, you're not able to do any of this because you haven't got that information to provide them. And so that's why it's pretty good to be getting that out of your catalog. And if you do, you know, have some of these still, you can just recall one and try to fix it before you recall the whole stock, because what you can then do, if it does get reactivated, and you will find over time some of these might disappear because other people have provided that information. and so I might see 2 disappear, and then they become active and live again, just like they were before, with no changes. Usually no changes, which is bizarre, but I haven't looked into the details to see. I haven't noticed any crazy differences on the product pages anyway. Sorry about all that. And so I just think it's important to obviously make sure you delete it from your catalog if you're not going to do it, or maybe if you start getting more, a couple of these, or obviously like 12, maybe start to recall a single unit, get the prep center yourself, just to basically, follow what it says in the appeal, or you'll probably get an email. I literally don't get any emails for these things. I think I've had one for all of these. I had one email saying, please provide this information. But apart from that, I've had no others. So it does detail in the email, but again, I've only had one. If you might have not had any, it should say in the appeal process. We can have a little click and see what it says, to be honest. Please submit explanation of the interest. Yeah, this is the weird thing. Please submit an explanation that addresses the issue. Well, you haven't told us the issue. So if you haven't got that email, potentially you haven't actually got include ASIN's product title for all listings in which you acquired the reinstatement. Fair enough. You can pull that off of here. Please only add ASIN associated with the reasons for removal. Yeah, again, I don't know the reasons for the removal. So, what you're gonna make a punt? Oh, I think it could be because there's no product. You don't even know the reason, and that's why I hate this crappy. That's why I don't do any appeals, because it doesn't even bloody tell you what's going on. You could be here forever trying to guess the exact thing. Maybe it's a picture that is misleading. Maybe the title. Maybe some sort of ingredients is wrong. Maybe it's not saying something. Like you could be here for bloody ever. And that's why I just think it's a load of crap in a way. Like, it's like what more can you do? Like, it's not like and that's why I don't think it's as important. But I might be proven wrong at some point. It's because if you haven't sold it for a year and you've still got it in your inventory, you'll get a policy violation. But are you selling it? No. Have you sold it recently? No. Was the rules different back then? Probably yes. And so that's why it's like not as relevant for me. Not that it isn't important, of course it is, but I'll probably do these appeals and I doubt I'll get any sorted, or I might get one. And there's nothing I can really do about it. I don't know, it's unless you want to completely stop selling groceries, that'd take a bloody while to keep saying that word, but it can take a while to actually transition, wouldn't it? It'd take months because you have to get rid of all the stock. You've got stock already, you can't just get rid of it, you've got to sell it. So it's like, what do you do? And so it's worth obviously being aware of it. I've had a lot of other people reach out to me saying that they've had they've got 10 now, and they've got 6, and they've got not, similar kind of stuff. And again, I don't know if it's account dependent. I don't know if everyone. I'm guessing, because I do know there's some things I'll get and others won't, but I don't believe it's on this. I think everyone on that's been on that listing, if they still got it in their catalog, will get this violation. So I'll keep you updated and posted, obviously, if anything changes and how my appeal process goes. But all you can do to be safe is, I guess, try to sell on a listing that actually has some detailed information of the product, not just one picture and that's it, and basically no other information. And make sure you haven't got it in your catalog after you've basically gone out of stock. If you don't suspect you're going to sell it right now, you can always add it back later. So anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Hopefully that helped for some people, and I'll see you all on the next one.